Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show. We only talk one thing and one thing only. That's what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers and founders like you can survive and thrive. It is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. We sit high atop a gorgeous Austin, Texas, hidden somewhere in the hills, an undisclosed location. This is brought to you by our partners, Postscript and AMP. And if you're sad and lonely and it's cold where you are, you should get here quick. Rent is down, happiness is up, and ROAS is through the roof. Dear founder, dear marketer, what kind of energy are you bringing into 2026? What kind of energy are you bringing into 2026? If you read the news, there's a lot to be sad about, a lot to be worried about, a lot to fear. It's a K-shaped economy. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. AI is not just enhancing jobs, it's automating jobs away. Oh no, that's serious. That's real. Ad costs are high. CPMs are no longer cheap. It's 2026. It's not 2017. Time has gone by. Margins wear thin. What should we do? What should we do? Dear marketer, what should we do? Should we fold it all up? Should we worry? Should we sweat and cry at night, cry ourselves to sleep night after night? Blame it on the economy. Blame it on somebody else. Who's to blame? Somewhere, something. That's not me. Nay, we say, not us, not you, not you. Profits must be made. Shareholder value must go up. Despite what's happening on the outside, we've got a lot of progress to make on the inside. Hitting forecast is as much an exercise of will as it is planning and as it is mathematics. Hitting forecast, I say again, hitting forecast is as much an exercise of will and execution as it is mathematics and planning. 2026 is going to take more. It's going to take more. More what, Chris? More of what? More of everything. Ads, email, campaigns, creators, posts, planning, strategery, live going, selling here and there, IRL activations. It's going to take more. It's going to take more. What kind of energy are you bringing to this year? Embrace the moment. We are those who embrace the moment. If the barbarians are at the gates, we pick up the sword, so to speak. Sometimes you got to beat that plowshare into a sword if the moment requires that. Embrace the moment, the opportunity in the era that we are in which AI flattens the playing field, creates opportunities for all of us in the landscape, a new industrial revolution, so to speak. The rewards will go to those who own the outcomes and execute on them. As AI levels the playing field for all of us, new tools developing, new capabilities every day, here, there, and everywhere, the rewards will go to those who own the outcomes and deliver. That's us. That's you. And as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime. We need to give him a big hand clap, and we're going to give him one. Colin Doherty, everybody.
Wow. I'm so fired up from that. I'm so fired up.
That's what I want.
I felt like I just came from the church of Chris right there, and I'm fired up to share the gospel.
You know, I was kind of planning on trying to find some amen sound effects, maybe a little organ, to work in here. I'll try and find it for tomorrow, or maybe there's just a live studio audience here, who could say, but Colin, it's a big year. Do you agree? Don't we need that kind of energy? We're going to bring it and make it happen regardless of what goes on.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got the other side of everything where everybody's doom and gloom that AI is just going to absolutely destroy e-commerce and everything else and take everything. It's the person who knows how to leverage AI within e-commerce who's going to absolutely crush. And you got to think like that. And you just have to will some of this stuff into existence, and you can do it.
We can do it.
We can do
And own. We will do it. I will make it happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to take some long nights. Maybe sleep must flee from our eyelids. That's okay. That's okay. We got a long time to sleep.
We do.
Maybe we got to send a few more email campaigns that we weren't planning on. Maybe we got to launch a few more ads. Maybe I myself, if I'm inside of a marketing team, maybe I got to get on my own phone and go live on the brand account that I'm supporting, and we just make it happen. Hey, good news. We've got all this stuff that you should have bought, but you didn't. So guess what? Now it's available at a cheap price. You can get it now. It's worth it. It's worth it. And I think that kind of energy is going to bring a lot of reward. That's going to
100%
reward. In that vein, there was a banger post yesterday posted by my man Luke at CTC. And I think we all need to ask ourselves this question. How many ads do I actually need this year? How many ads do I actually need? You know, I think if you were going to ask me, I'd say more. You know, how many am I going to need? I'm going to need more. But we got to put some planning behind this thing. How many do we actually need? This kind of thing, you know, it got some good traction. A lot of people saw it. 8.7 thousand views. I think it should have been more like 87,000 views. And I say because this is the kind of thing as founders, as marketers, are having sleepless nights. How can I meet the demand despite the things happening on the outside that are adverse to me? How can I meet it? This is the kind of model and planning that can give us that warm blanket of comfort. I've got some help coming my way. I can figure out a way with the right partners to get really close to exactly the amount of ads it's going to take to get to the goal where we want to get. Would that help you? If you were in that same situation, would you feel that way as well? I need some frameworks for how to get there.
Absolutely. And I think this is a wonderful breakdown for how to think about the ads that you're making. And he really lays it out here. I think there's a little bit more of the tweet as well for, again, like how he's breaking stuff out. But this is super amazing. Also, jumping into those images as well, there's a full breakdown how you're thinking about these, where you feel lost so much when you're creating ads, where you just want to throw stuff against the wall. If you have this framework that you can test against, then you know exactly, you got some guardrails.
Exactly. And let's go back to the other one, Carson. Let's just run through some of these. Creative demand model. When Taylor Holiday was mentoring me, Taylor Holiday, CEO at Common Thread Collective, and that's where Luke is VP of fill in the blank, something really important title. Luke and team there, they have been building this out into their software, Statless, and they have enabled all of their partners to be able to get a grasp on where they are today, where do they want to go, what's it going to take to get there, build out the train tracks to arrive at that forecast. And this creative demand model's got zero spend rate, percentage of active ads that got zero spend. That's important to know. Ad concentration, how much of your ad percentage of total spend went to your top 5 bangers. ROAS degradation. This I thought was interesting. The change of ROAS after a big launch.
Yeah.
Spend degradation, change in daily spend after the initial launch week, evergreen share, percentage of ads that have been running consistently for 30 plus days. All of that together accumulating into a creative score. Next one, Carson. This kind of enablement on the service side, I think a huge benefit for partners and brands that they're working with. Taylor told me a couple of years ago, this is coming. This is coming. Well, now it's here. And this kind of thing I see as a big advantage heading into 2026 to build out those train tracks, increase shareholder value, turn red arrows into green arrows, and get to the promised land.
I love it.
Excuse me. I need to stop preaching so much because I'm wearing out my voice here. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one, Carson. I think in conjunction with that, Jess from Fire Team. He put out a great tweet yesterday on how to not get fired as an agency.
Good
and
luck.
how to yeah, good luck, right? Good luck. How to not get fired. I will say, I don't know everyone's hit rate. I don't know everyone's length of client relationship, but I don't know of anybody that's got a longer one than Jess does with the Fire Team. What he went through here, I think, was really impressive, and it's something that we should all pay attention to. He says this: forget ROAS, forget CAC, agency leader. How about that? Forget ROAS, forget CAC. The only agency metric that matters is ATS/MLT, ability to survive marketing leadership transitions. Now, I have to confess, what he's about to tell us here. I've been the bad man with the big stick who's coming into fire. Whatever agency was there before, I'm coming in to clean house because I want my people in there. This is a real troubleshooting situation that agencies have to navigate. We've seen so many CMOs, heads of growth, media buyers come and go, and yet we persist. On average, client tenure, 14.2 months. That's really impressive. He says later on, average tenure for our current group of clients, 21.8 months. It's nearly 2 years.
Yeah,
I think I've had one client relationship that has lasted longer than that. For sure, the amount of brands that I've worked with, I'm not averaging this. So he's got an incredible hit rate here. For a creative-only D2C agency with month-to-month contracts, even more impressive now. You don't just stick around by making winners, you persist by adapting. Markets change, clients change, leadership changes, your agency must also change. The less daylight you have between the business and the agency, the better. Once trust is established, and it's next to impossible to get this close without a dedicated account manager role. So when a new CMO comes in with big ideas, we don't get nervous, we get to work. I thought this was really impressive, and key is managing that relationship with new incoming marketing hire. Happens all the time. Your thoughts?
Oh, I would give the analogy. It's like a team getting a new head football coach. They're going to want to bring in their own staff. They're going to want to bring in their new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, lineman coach. They're going to want to bring in all those people. It's extremely hard to survive that transition. And so for him to be able to do this is absolutely incredible. But he is right. This is one of the hardest things to navigate. If he was, if he's able to sprinkle a little bit more of that secret sauce, because I'm sure he has sauce. We need a little bit more deep dive on how he's actually navigating that from a true talk track and how he's approaching it, all of these things, because that's unbelievable. A 21-month, that's unbelievable. So I'd love to get him on and maybe talk a little bit more about, hey man, what's your initial communication like? How are you coming across as not like a kind of a competition for them? That's a huge thing. You don't want to come across as competition, but more as a collaborative effort. Absolutely incredible. I couldn't agree more. It's an insane metric.
Jess, this is our call to you. We invite you on the show. We need a little more sprinkling of wisdom here. Some pearls of wisdom. We need a deep dive. My guess, communication, huge piece.
Huge.
Second guess, I mean, obviously he's laid out here, dedicated account manager role. Yeah. Thirdly, I would guess being willing, perhaps, maybe this is going to ruffle some feathers, but maybe even being willing to change your own processes, agency side, in order to not ingratiate, but win some positive favor with new CMO, new head of growth, new marketing lead. What do they want to do, and how do they want to do it? How do they prefer to do it? I'm sure there's a little bit of secret sauce to managing these relationships. We need Jess on. I think it's a good point. A lot of this comes down to relationships.
Yeah.
What I have seen, my experience agency side, I've worked at a boutique agency. I've worked at a large agency. I've had my own clients. What I have seen is that even if performance is down, if they like you, they'll stick with you for a little bit. They'll give you a little more leash. I mean,
sure.
I don't think that's crazy. We talked about it with Raba on Monday. If people like you, if they like being associated with you, if they trust you, they're willing to give you a little more time. This is key. I'd love to hear from Jess more on it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of trust and relationships, I'm going to AMP here, Carson. Speaking of trust, relationships, not getting fired, keeping relationships, shareholders knowing that, yes, this person knows what they're doing. We can put our future in their hands. They should be here running the show, pushing us forward to the promised land. AMP, our partners here, incredible platform with an array of tools. My personal favorite, lifetimely deep insights to your P&L, your CAC, your LTV, customer behavior. Where are my biggest revenue opportunities? How can that inform our growth strategies for the year on Shopify, on Amazon? It's perfect for board level reporting, brings all of your data into one place and space. And when boss man or you have a question, hey, how are we doing on this? Where are we tracking on that? AMP provides an incredible platform that can give you all the answers in an easy to view dashboard that is nice to look at and also informative. It's going to help you get to where you want to go. I know everybody can build out their own spreadsheets. Everybody's got Excel. Everybody's got Google. There are so many things everywhere. This person doing it that way. That person preferred their way. Get yourself on AMP. What it's going to allow you to do is scale with confidence. Does anybody want some confidence heading into this year? Being able to hit the numbers and go where we want to go? You do. You do. That's why you need to get on AMP. We're thankful that they are partners with us. All right, next in our lineup here, I am so interested. You can move away from this now, Carson. I am so interested in this news. Pinterest shoppable CTV series turns pins into purchases on Roku. Did you see this, Colin? What's your impression at first? It is sick. That's so sick.
This is great.
What's your impression of this at first blush, first listen? You got some details there. What's your take?
I am so excited about this. Pinterest has some of the best content, in my opinion, of all social media. And for them to this kind of take this to the next level for CTV, it's amazing. I find some of my best inspo and some of my best, pieces of clothing on Pinterest where you're like, that thing's unbelievable. So for them to just take this to the next level, this is awesome. They should be super, super bullish about this, especially CTV. I think just as a category, I'm really bullish on CTV moving forward in 2026. But this specifically is really cool.
You know, when I think of Pinterest, I think of millennial women. Okay. That's who I think of. Okay. Sure. I am of the millennial generation very solidly. I'm somewhere in the middle. Am I elder? I'm not sure. I think I'm solidly in the middle. I'm not late. I'm somewhere there in the average. And when I think of Pinterest, I think of millennial women designing homes and homesteads that look like they should appear in magazines. And I think you bring a great point. It's incredible for visuals, for creative, for product. Yeah. It's everywhere in there. But this article brings in a good problem that Pinterest and brands on Pinterest currently have. A lot of times brands not attached. It's not tagged. Maybe people have an abundance of beautiful things in their boards. They don't know where it comes from. They can't get it right now. They can't go purchase, add to cart. And so there's a little bit of a disconnection. That's my understanding right now. I think this is a great step in the right direction because now they're forming their own content with brands associated with Pinterest that their users, their audience can watch, save, shop, check out. I think it's a great step in the right direction. Carson, why don't you play this video for us a little bit, just to give us all a little window into what's happening?
My Pinterest dream is to have a hand styling cart.
My wardrobe needs a lot of help.
I really want to create like a beautiful, cozy book nook.
My dreams to create a space for friends to come together.
I have a vision of what it could be.
I just feel like I've been stuck in this design paralysis.
This Pinterest board gives me exactly what I need.
Hello!
Okay, stop us there, Carson. Stop us there. What I find interesting about this, so they're involving creators, great. They are involving users of Pinterest, great. Your board, bringing it to life inside of your home. This content is essentially, it's helping their users envision, hey, you can do this yourself. Watch this. This seems like a great, I wouldn't call it a date night watch, but it's something that I could see my wife and other millennial women loving to watch, envision how can I change my space and further instill a love for Pinterest, finding brands there and checking out. Now, I will say this. Right now, I don't know how this entity is actually shoppable. What I would love as a layer on top of this, and maybe they're getting there, but what I would love as a layer on top of this is something a little more TikTok shop-esque inside of the app itself, because what it would allow both creators and brands and the platform to do is directly attribute, you saw this brand, this creator talked about it, it's from this pin. Here's a video of them showing it in their home. Purchase right here, right now. And brands can directly attribute that sale to you. That's what I would love. Maybe that's the next step that's coming. Is that too far in left field?
That's the dream. That is the dream that I think I see as well, where I would love for that to be the case. I think some of my functionality right now going through Pinterest is I'll take screenshots, unfortunately, and then I'll put them in a ChatGPT or a Google Gemini and be like, hey, what are the items in this? Can you link me to them? So you got to close that window. I shouldn't have to export a photo, dump it into an LLM, go through and do all these things to try to find a piece of clothing. I did it like 3 weeks ago for a jacket that was like sweet. And so they gotta close that window and make it super shoppable and make sure you can attribute all this stuff. So you're a really viable platform so that folks just start spending thousands and thousands.
Millions. ROAS through the roof.
ROAS through.
That's the energy for 2026. Carson, I think our ticker at the bottom has reverted to yesterday. I just wanted to, we're here, we're family. If you could move that from yesterday's ticker to this ticker, I think everyone's going to benefit. There we are. There we are. That may happen again as we move throughout the show. Okay. Our next story here, I'm super happy about what Pinterest is doing. Also kind of ties into what you called out earlier this week. If more platforms can provide more viable opportunities for us to see positive return inside of advertising this way and that, it's going to be a win for everybody. So I think that's a great step in the right direction. Let's move forward to this interesting brand collab here. This is Sweet Green, and we get this from Andrea at Snack Shot. She knows everything in the world related to snacks. She also should be on this show. Would you like her on the show, Colin?
Absolutely. She has some of the best drops and debuts. I don't know where she's getting her information from, I
think she's like a hidden board member on like every snack company, basically.
Yeah.
But she brings this interesting news. Sweet Green debuts menu collab with Mark Hyman and Function, catering to the biohackers and Huberman what does that say? Himbros? Is that what that says? No, Himbos. Himbos is an interesting choice for a salad chain. I like this. I like it because personally, I've seen a lot of success with partnering a product that's a natural fit for a certain persona, like biohackers. Partnering a new product, a new debut, with a relevant, authoritative creator, person, expert in that same niche, in that same authoritative space. When you do that, what I've seen is every time we're up and to the right. It's a huge win. I love that Sweet Green is doing this. And I'm probably telling all our gym bros that this is where you should be eating lunch. You should be spending your 10, your 15, your $20 here instead of just bringing steak that you grilled last night to the office. Give me your thoughts, Colin.
There's a little sliver of something that I don't think you touched on here, which is
What did I miss?
the biohackers and the Huberman guys. As a general, they tend to skew a little bit higher in their income bracket, and
Sure.
Sweet Green is, I would argue, a semi-premium fast casual place. And so now you're catering to this person who has a higher income bracket, who's extremely health conscious. You have a great face for this collaboration. And I think Function is going to be an amazing company for 2026 and how they're doing everything right now. I also love the way that Mark is just talking with his audience. The content he's putting out is just really great. And so I think this could just be a home run. Execute really well this year with it. So not just announcing it, not just saying, hey, we got it, but really doing ideally some cool posts, some in real life activation with him.
Yes.
That would be awesome. Maybe some really close kind of niche gym experiences where these types of bowls are available afterwards. That would be really great, where you kind of build out this partnership a little more. But it's got some great legs to it now.
Give me context, Colin, on Mark and Function. I'm very aware of Huberman. I'm not as aware regarding Function. I think you made a great point about the biohacker generally having more dollars to spend and Sweet Green rightly aligning and telling them, hey, you need to be eating here. Give me some more context on Mark and Function.
For sure. Yeah, Carson, if you want to pull up the Function website, basically Function can tackle all of your biomarkers, and you can decide to go for either quarterly or yearly or I don't know, maybe every 6 months you can get your blood tested, and they give you this really, really diverse, in-depth look at all of your biomarkers. And so this is catering directly to the Huberman guys of the world. Who want to see, like, hey, how is this? How is the salad going to be affecting my XYZ? And so I think it's a great move. Function also just raised an absolute boatload of money. I don't know if you saw that. I think they
No,
raised.
I didn't.
I think they just raised, I think, $700 million. But
Wow.
Mark has been kind of the medical forefront guy in the space, along with Andrew Huberman, and he's just been a really approachable figure. So he's not intimidating. He's not really talking down to you. He's a really approachable figure, just giving out good content right now.
You know what I love about this? A lot of my friends have told me you need to go get your what checked. Your blood, your markers, your da 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 da. I never know where to go. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I think the thing for somebody like me that is adjacent to biohackers, I myself am not a biohacker, although maybe I'll be all cooked up on peptides here in a few months and I'll be Superman. But as somebody who is biohacker adjacent, what I love about this collab is that it gives me a very tactile, practical door into this world where it's elusive for me. It's not knowledge that I have a firm grasp on. Something like salads, eating healthy, and entering into Sweet Greens. Hey, what should I do for lunch? Should I grab another burger? No. I care about my health. My wife wants me to live for a long time. I hope to see my grandchildren someday. Let's eat a salad. Where should I go? Let's go to Sweet Greens. Something like this with Mark and Function gives me a really practical entrance into everything about their world. I love that. I hope it ends up being more customers for everybody involved and being a big win. I think it will be.
For sure. Absolutely.
Was that for me? If that, I love that. Thank you. Makes me feel good.
Thanks, Carson.
In this same vein, similar but different, Lego did an incredible thing that we saw yesterday, today. Like we've talked about before, the real hard work of marketing, the real hard work is done in product development. That's my conviction. Lego has gone on an incredible run over the past few years. It was always known to me as just a child's plaything, but now a substantial amount of their results and revenue is coming from kidults. It's coming from adults who love to get screen-free, build right there in front of them. They've got the dollars to spend. Of course, parents will spend for kids, but adults also like spending on themselves and having a little fun, a little screen-free fun. I thought this was so interesting. They're smart bricks. They're a new smart play system debuted at CES 2026 on Monday, adding interactive, responsive logos to the famously analog franchise. The smart play system includes a 2x4 brick, smart tag tiles, and smart minifigures. They can sense nearby smart tags, which are 2x2 studless tiles with unique digital IDs. And what it seems like is that they literally light up with a small ASIC chip inside and indicate, put this here, put that there. To me, this is fantastic. I love to see this.
I love it. Let me buy some ads on bricks.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get some ads on bricks.
Let me get some ad space.
I don't know exactly what the price tag here is. My imagination is that it's up.
Oof.
Actually, yeah, it's there at the bottom. What's the price tag, Colin?
$69 for a smaller one, and then a Throne A wheel is $160. That's actually not terribly expensive.
Not too bad, really.
Well, for what I've seen from Lego previously, they just dropped this Lord of the Rings set. I've gotten a little bit nerdy with it. They dropped this Lord of the Rings build where you can build all of the Twin Towers, and it's like $600. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, they have really crazy expensive builds that you can do. And for Christmas, I bought my father-in-law an adult Lego because he's just been, wanting to build some stuff in his free time. And I think you nailed it. It's screen-free. Like,
screen-free.
People are just trying to do some stuff not on their screens. It's cool. I love this. I think it's cool. I think it's their next evolution of, Lego and how they're going to kind of move forward with the future of this. And if you can make it even more interactive, fun for kids, that's a home run. That's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. I am surprised by the price tag. I really think that they could have upped this a little more based on the unique sets they've been creating. But hey, we'll take it. Anytime we can spend a little less mashugana on the exciting new product, I'll take it.
I love it.
As a consumer, maybe they'll up that price here in the future after it takes hold a little bit. One could imagine. Speaking of focus, product development, really enhancing your craft and surprising and delighting your customers. I'm moving forward here to Postscript, Carson. Focus is an amazing thing, and Postscript is an amazing partner. They are the only SMS partner that I know of whose sole endeavor, their dare, is to make SMS your #1 revenue channel. I was so surprised by that. I can still remember Alex Beller telling me, this is what we're trying to do for you, bro. We're trying to make SMS. So sick. It's sick. We're trying to make SMS #1 for your company. I think, sad to say, for a number of other partners, SMS is just kind of an add-on. Not with Postscript. They are focused. They are developing, and results, they come. They come when you partner with people who are solely engaged with their endeavor. I've used Postscript in the past. They are my preferred partner. I've been helping transition a brand to Postscript right now. Why? Because of my own success with them. They took our account from another platform, brought us on to Postscript, and within a year, we were top 1% qualitatively and quantitatively account on their entire platform. I'm convinced they are the SMS partner for you, as they have been for me. You should go to Postscript right now. There is a new study, a guide, a report for SMS benchmarks. You can see the URL here at the bottom of the screen. If you go there, you will see in my category for my level of brand revenue level, what should I be doing on SMS? Where do I lack? How can we make up that delta in 2026 so that everybody goes home with more cash in their pocket? Thanks to our partners at Postscript. Moving forward here to CPG Roundup, some very interesting things went down in the CPG world yesterday. Creatine for all. Symbiotica debuts a new form. For me, this is totally new, a new form of creatine. I just thought it was the powder, then it was the gummies. Now we've got something you can put in your mouth. You saw this, Colin?
Yeah, it's cool. I appreciate, new forms and trying to change the delivery mechanism. Creatine is everywhere still. I thought the kind of the creatine craze of 2025 would stop and we would get a new one, but I guess we're just going to keep on rolling with creatine for 2026 and 2027, 2028. So creatine's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's like protein. It's like fiber now. I just
Yeah.
know I need creatine in my diet. I still don't really know what creatine is, if I'm honest, but I know if I want to be healthy and swole and really, really good looking, I need to be taking creatine. However, that can be distributed to me in its easiest, tastiest form. I don't know how this tastes, but it looks tasty. Symbiotica did a great job with this ad creative here. To me, this looks delicious. If it tastes like candy, like we've talked about in the realm of CPG before, if it tastes like candy, it's going to make me healthy. I'm all in. I think this is a really interesting product development for them.
Yeah, I just hope it has the 5 grams of creatine as promised. I don't know if you remember the gummy scandal that happened.
No. Tell me.
The gummy scandal that happened earlier 2025 was a really, really big YouTube influencer purchased all of the creatine gummies off of Amazon and had those third-party tested for actual levels of creatine in each gummy.
Man.
And then did it a benchmark against the claim that they were making. And he found, I think, 70% of them didn't have anywhere close to the levels of creatine promised. Our friends at Create, Dan McCormick, that was one of the ones that actually did have the exact amount needed. So shout out to
Dan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan.
Way to have a great product and stand by your product.
Shout out to Dan. Yeah, I have found this. I have some friends that are in the supplement category. Of course, our friends at Heart and Soil, Dean, Doug over there. Generally, I think when it comes to supplements, a lot of people are afraid that what I'm taking is total BS. Carson, can you move to our third story with CPG here? There was this tweet that came out yesterday. I don't want to push, I don't know. I didn't run the test. Okay. But this person here, what's their username? I can't remember their username, but Falfin.
Yeah. It's Dolphin with an F.
Dolphin with an F. Falfin. I don't know if this is their video or if they watched. Oh no, maybe it looks like it's their video. Is it their video?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it is their video. You're right.
Okay. Apparently, they did some discovery with a protein powder that is trusted in their local place in California, in their area, and they found that it was actually just cake batter. They reported, it's got this much protein. Actually, it had literally 3 grams of protein. and a whole bunch of sugar, and it's really just cake batter. I don't want to like push this on anybody. Actually, let's take the graphic away because I don't know, but I do think it reinforces the point that in the supplement space, what we all want at the end of the day is trust. We want it to taste good, and we want it to actually be good. I hope for this company that somehow, I hope for this company that somehow that product or that one entity was somehow the wrong thing. I don't want to shame anybody, but the point is that at the end of the day, consumers need to be able to trust our product actually does and is what we say it is.
Yeah. I would be furious if I was taking that many scoops and I was getting 21 grams of carbs instead of 21 grams of protein.
It hurts.
And you're just like, oh, I'm doing great things for my muscles, but you're just giving your body so many carbs where you could have just had rice or pasta instead and not spent so much money. I'd be furious. I would be shocked if this is all true and this comes out and this is true across the total product lining. They don't have a little class action lawsuit of consumers that come together. And this is not good. You can't be doing this. And I
hate to see it.
I'm a huge fan of like, you have to make sure that people are doing exactly what they're saying on the label because it's the stuff you're putting into your body, and it's really important that you take that seriously.
Yeah. I guess in some sense, it's a risky business, what you take into your body. For sure it is. And you want to only put in trusted partners in there. I hope this situation resolves itself and somehow it was just a mix up, but remains to be seen. If you'll go back one, Carson, I thought this was really interesting in the CPG world. Banger year for Outlaw Light, hit 1 million cans. And they're 3xing volume in 2026. In the light beer category, they joined Garage Beers and 8 Brewing in having just stellar years for themselves. To me, what I loved about this is the name. Okay. And the same for Garage Beers. Obviously, they partnered with Jason Kelsey. Super smart of them to do that. 8 Brewing coming forth from Troy Aikman. All this to say, who are the drinkers of light beer? Who are they aiming at? They're aiming at men. They're aiming at men who want to feel like what? They want to feel like outlaws. They want to feel like they're hanging out in the garage with the boys. They want to feel like the beer that they drink is the same that NFL Hall of Famer Troy Aikman is having his beer of choice. To me, the beauty of this is in the name. I don't know how good this product is. My guess is it's as good as any other light beer, but the name, the packaging, it reminds me of Hank Williams Jr., Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. When I have this, I'm feeling like an outlaw. I'm feeling like a red-blooded American who's just on the verge of charting my way out into the Wild West frontier. I love this. I I think the brilliance is in their name.
Absolutely. And, the CG category specifically with alcohol is due for a shakeup. You can see the year-over-year trends where alcohol is decreasing, but there's still these key players that are adapting and doing some really unique product differentiation where they are shooting up and to the right. And I think that's what it's going to take moving forward, where these big boys, the massive guys that have always been in the space that we all know, the household names, they're going to have to start to adapt to the quote unquote like modern landscape. And I think you picked an exact perfect example of that is these guys with their branding. And also you always got to add in amazing dogs. That always helps with your branding, folks. You add in a nice black lab. It always helps with branding, folks.
Exactly. If you add a dog, if you show somebody going on a hunt, if you show some guys going out on a boat with your dog, that's always going to be a winner. Some of my favorite content that you create, Colin, is featuring your beautiful dog. So, I mean, I don't know. It sends testosterone up. It's exciting. We all love it. Next, I was incredibly intrigued and excited to just get a little window into the internet's creative director, Oren John's origin story. Colin Landforce, these two guys, in addition to Alex, they are the trio, the triumvirate of Cut 30, helping creators, founders, marketers, people of all places and spaces, dentists, business owners, boring business owners, take organic social serious and become incredibly sought after, regardless of what kind of business they're in. We need to read this. I know a guy. He did a great job crafting this copy-wise too. I know a guy who started making TikToks and didn't tell any of his friends. He turned off the settings that suggest you to your contacts so no one would see, and did an account dedicated to non-alcoholic beverages. It was weird/random. The videos weren't any good and nothing really got over 1,000 views. I remember being like, what are you doing, dude? Anyway, that friend is Oren Meets World, and he convinced me to start making videos shortly thereafter. And nothing matters. Just make content and have fun. Good things will happen. Cut 30 and its new cohort is here. To me, this was incredibly inspiring and encouraging, because maybe we can all be just a little bit like Oren John at the end of the day. What did you think when you saw this tweet?
I love it. I love Oren. I've interacted with him a few times. I wish I could interact with him more. I love his series. Are you buying the brand? Are you buying the product?
Totally.
I think that is one of his home run hit series. I watch them every single time. And I just think his art direction in those videos is fantastic. It's super intentional. It's really well done. And he's clearly amassed this massive following. If you check out his Instagram, if you check out his YouTube channel, he's been putting in the work, and those numbers are extremely reflective of the work he's been putting in. He is also a super creative, super awesome, great dude. And he sent me a couple of the things he was working on for myself, and I absolutely cherish him. I absolutely cherish him.
I would say, just as a partaker of marketing content in all the places and spaces that it is made, I don't know that anybody is making content as helpful as Oren is. I discovered his YouTube not long ago. He's one of the few guys I can count on one hand, the creators that I watch all of their YouTubes. Everything that comes out, I'm taking it in. Every YouTube that he puts out, I feel like I should be taking notes, career notes, campaign notes, set design notes, all the things. I hope everybody that can hear my voice right now will take Cut 30. I did it, gosh, was it a year ago, year and a half? Probably a year and a half ago. I confess I did not stick with it after my 30, 60 days or so. You know, I got busy. I'm who they talk about. You start, but you got to keep going. I'll say this though. He got me on the train. I'm taking content seriously now. And while I was in the Cut 30 program, I did have a banger pop off for 300,000 views. I cannot recommend it enough. I know their cohort has already started. Guys, you should write Oren, DM Colin, tell them, let me in. Let me in, please. They're probably going to say it's totally full. They're probably going to push you to the next cohort. That's okay. Save your spot. Get in there. We all need more views. We all need cheaper CPMs. Organic social is the way to make it happen in 2026. I love this. And it gives me hope. Maybe we can all be a little Oren John in the future. Okay, lastly, in regards to creative and advertising, I thought this coming from Equinox was so interesting. Equinox's New Year campaign. You know, it's definitely eye-catching. It throws you for a loop. Definitely grabs your attention. Equinox's New Year campaign undercuts AI slop with human portraits. The point is value yourself, get in shape, the human touch, the craft, get in the gym. I thought this is a very creative use of AI and effective in the sense that it stopped my scroll, so to speak, and got me to pay attention. What are your thoughts, Colin?
I hate it. I hate everything about it.
You hate it. Okay, why do you
hate it? I don't know if you saw the Equinox New Year's resolution video that they put out.
Okay. No, yeah, I didn't. I didn't like that one. I didn't.
It was atrocious. I don't know why Equinox is going down this path. They don't need to be. Don't need to be. They're hurting their brand image, and they need to kind of have an overhaul and start to partner with some great folks, partner with some great creators. The Sweet Greens of the world. That's how Equinox should be addressing the rest of the market, not going through and doing this kind of like AI kind of branding that they're doing. I don't understand it at all. If I was in the Equinox boardroom or if I was a shareholder of Equinox, I would be furious. And I don't go to Equinox. So
I think you make a good point. When I think of Equinox, I think of high class, top tier, lots of money. I am making a status choice by working out here. This is not 24-hour fitness. This is not Planet Fitness. This is a part of my persona, my personality, who I am and where I am in life. It's a top tier move. Example, Highland Park, Texas, most sought after place to live in all of the great state, the great Lone Star State. It's like 2 square miles of property in the middle of downtown Dallas. It's SMU is there. Okay. There's many things there. Where do you work out if you live in Highland Park? You work out at Equinox. So I think this is a fair point. They're probably pushing the AI envelope reactions too much. Maybe they could be a little more wealth whispers, a little more understated about who they are and the kind of service they offer to their customers. Maybe that's more the play for 2026 instead of leaning into AI like they are.
I wish they would have done something where it would have just been meet some of our members and you do a daily or a weekly breakdown on some of the really amazing entrepreneurs and business owners that go to Equinox. Fair. And you do feature stories of real people that actually go to the gym and then incorporate how Equinox helps them actually push their business forward. That's so much more intentional than like, here's an AI slop photo of, who cares?
I think that's an interesting point. There is a gym membership club. I'm really not even giving him the right terms right now, because it really is a step above everything else. A former teammate of mine, Jeremy Hills, here in Austin, Texas. We both played at the University of Texas together. Yeah. He owns Collective with a K.
Let's go.
And who works out there? NFL studs, NFL stars who are still actively in the game. Who else works out there? If you are an incredibly good-looking 20-something who lives downtown in a condo, and you work out there with other incredibly good-looking 20-somethings, that's who you are. A social performance club for high performers. And one of the best things about what they do is just showing off who works out there. And so for Equinox, just giving us a window into, hey, here are the kind of high-class people in these wealthy communities with bright futures, and who they are, what interesting things they're doing now. If I can associate myself with those kind of people who are doing cool things, who have the kind of life now and the kind of future that I want, and it just makes me want to go there. It makes me want to level up. I want to pay to go to your place and space so I can be that kind of person and think of myself that way. Maybe they should just do a little more storytelling, giving us a window. It's a good point, Colin. That brings us to the end, my friends. It is almost 1 o'clock Central. That means it's time to get lunch. If you haven't here, if you live in the middle of the United States, we are going to be here tomorrow. Many thanks to our partners, Postscript and AMP, for allowing us to do what we do. We talk about one thing and one thing only: what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers and founders and operators like you can survive and thrive. We will see you again on the other side. Thanks for joining.
That's the show.